Good morning, students. Today I am going to explain about the administration system of the post-Shatavahana kingdoms. This administration system can be followed between 3rd to 12th century in the history of our Telangana. Okay? Generally, the medieval Telangana history, we can observe the monarchical administration system was followed by the various kingdoms or their administration method. Here, in the period of post-Shatavahana period, the total administration system was followed of the Shatavahana's system. Various kingdoms during the period of post-Shatavahana, they were followed the Shatavahana's administration system. Okay? Generally, the medieval administration system of in the history of Telangana is monarchical administration system. This is known as kingship. Okay? Kingship. It means the rule of the king. So here I mentioned some key points about the administration system of BC 3rd to 12th century in the history of Telangana. Write down the students and listen to me carefully. Here, the administration of between 3rd to 12th century can be divided into two categories. One is central government, second one is local government. Local government known as provincial government also. So we shall discuss briefly in this video about the administration, either central and provincial. So first we will take central administration. In the central administration there is two parts. One is king and the second one is council of ministers. The first one is king. King's rule is known as kingship. So kingship was hereditary. Kingship was hereditary. King was the head of the state. He had all powers in his hands. Okay? And kingship, he was the head and supreme authority of the kingdom. Okay? He was not only this head and also supreme authority of the state. That's why I mentioned he had all powers in his hands. This type of administration known as monarchical administration. And he following the administration principles, he followed Dharma Sutras. King followed Dharma Sutras and Brahminical laws. When issuing a monarchical order, the king was followed Dharma Shastras and also followed Brahminical rules and regulations. It means nothing but laws. So this is a common method, a general method of this period. And finally, he did not rule the state in personally. That's why he was assisted by a council of ministers, a group of ministers. This group of ministers or council of ministers is supported to the king in the view of administration. Okay? Here now I shall explain about Council of Ministers. Here I mentioned some officials of the administration. One is Mahamantri. Mahamantri nothing but Prime Minister. He was the head of the Council of Ministers, and also he was the chief advisor of the king. And the second, Finance Minister. Total economy was under control by the Finance Minister. And the third one, Senapati. Senapati was commander in chief of the army. And fourth one, head of the treasury. Fourth one, head of the treasury. And the fifth one, law minister. Law minister. And the sixth one, Purohita. Purohita was sixth minister. And some inscriptions and epigraphies are mentioned about some officials of the administration. They are Mahamatyas and Maha Sandhi Vigraha and Durgadipati. Mahamatya and Maha Sandhi Vigraha are the most chief officials of the administration during the time of post-Shatavahana period. And Durgadipati, he was the chief of the fort. He was the chief of the port. He was the protector of the port. So these three are the officials or officers of the administration. So this is central administration. Now I shall explain about local administration during the time of post-Shatavahana period. The total kingdom was, or the king was divided their kingdom into Rastras, and Rastras can be divided into Vishayas, and Vishayas can be divided into villages. Okay, total kingdom was divided into some categories. Here the one is Rastras, and the second Vishayas, and the third villages. This is the deviation of the kingdom for the purpose of welfare administration. The first one is Rastras. Rastras is the big unity of the administration of the post-Shatavahana period. Generally, who was the head of the Rashtra? Rashtrapati. Rashtrapati was the head of the Rashtra. Generally, the princes of the state are the nearest relations of the king was appointed as a Rashtrapati at the level of Rashtra administration. What is his main duties? Collect the land tax and maintain the peace and order. These two are the main duties of the Rashtrapati at the level of Rashtra administration. And for the administration convenience, Rastras also can be divided into Vishayas. Who was the head of the Vishaya? Vishayapati was the head of the Vishaya. And another most important officer also helped to the Vishayapati is Bhogapati. Vishayapati and Bhogapati, two are the main heads of the Vishaya level or Vishaya administration. Here these two fellows are responsibility to the Rashtrapati, and Rashtrapati responsible to the king. And what is their main duties at the level of Vishayapati? Vishaya, collect the land tax and maintain the law and order is two are the most important duties of the Vishayapati and Bhogapati at the level of Vishaya administration. And finally, village. village was the basic unit of the administration in post-Shatavahana period. Here village administration was totally concerned by the village assemblies or village councils. So here one person was headed by the village administration. That fellow is Grama Adhipati. Who is Gramapati? Gramapati was the head of the village. And another officers also assisted by the Gramapati. They are Karanam and Patel. Karanam was the responsible for the revenue accounts and Patel responsible for the peace and order. These two are assisted by Talari on their duties. So this is local level administration. And next one, revenue administration. Revenue administration is perfectly implemented by the post-Shatavahana period. Here the land tax was the main income source of the income state. Land tax was the main source of the state. They were collected 1/12% of income was collecting land tax, and another taxes also collected by the various officers in various regions. They are Pandenala tax, Sandhi Vigraha tax. These two are the main. Another important taxes are there. Generally the historian says heavy duties are hidden by the people. There was a tax burden. So many taxes are collected from the people by the officers. That's why the historians mentioned a heavy tax burden on the people by the state. So this is revenue administration. And finally judicial administration also given here. King was the chief justice of the state. King's court was the supreme court of the state. But one officer was carried judicial administration. That fellow is Dharma Sana. Dharma Sana was the judicial officer during the post-Shatavahana period. And some inscriptions, epigraphies are mentioned. Another important judicial officer, they are Pradvi Vakas. Pradvi Vakas also another important judicial officers during the period of post-Shatavahana. And next, army administration or army organization. This is most important organization of the administration of the post-Shatavahana period. Why? Because the king's main duty was expansion their kingdom and protect the people and protect the state. That's why kings maintained a huge army, and kings maintained a different level of organizations in army wing. Here generally during the period of this post-Shatavahana period, the kings are maintained Chaturanga forces. Kings maintained Chaturanga forces. What is Chaturanga forces? Infantry and cavalry. Infantry or cavalry, second elephantry, and third chariots, and fourth archery. These are the wings in Chaturanga forces. In this, infantry or cavalry is most important, or a huge soldiers are work in this wing. So this is army organization of the post-Shatavahana period. Tomorrow we shall discuss about the economic, social and religious conditions of post-Shatavahana period.